Hi guys, and welcome back to another texture pack update. So it's been a little while for this one. I think it's been about 2 weeks, but what I'm planning on doing is kind of trying to fit in as much stuff as I can. Actually, I need to change my there we go focus field of view. That was ridiculous. See, I'm trying to get as much as I can into these kind of update videos, so it's a bit more worth it for you guys. Don't want to do really small ones. If I did do small ones, it'd be every couple of days, whereas this gives you a ton of stuff instead, and it's a little bit easier for me to make a video on lots of stuff rather than the smaller things. So one of the things I've actually been doing is going through the stone pressure plates, and you can see here I've got the basic one. I did have, and in some of my videos for other things, I did have a welcome mat. I just found that I couldn't really use that in loads of different situations, whereas the actual just default stone pressure plate I can. I'll probably add a nice little border to this and add some little details on the side. But for now it's just the default. That is 70:0 and also 70:1, because when it's 1 it's actually when it's pushed down. But I do have a load of extra little variation blocks as well. So obviously you'll need Optifine for all of these, but 70:2 is a chessboard. Pretty standard, pretty cool. 70:3 is some sort of board game that I can't name, and I've tried to make it as smudged as possible so that I don't get any copyright on me. But I think you guys can probably guess what type of board game that is. It's, there you go, if you zoom in, you can tell the name really clearly. It's, blah, 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 blah. And then we got a notepad as 70:4, a tablet, which is 70:5. Now, that one obviously is directional. If you put it this way, it'll just look weird. So, you would kind of only have one direction for that one. I'm probably going to turn it at an angle and try and make it a little bit more tablet-like. At the minute, it kind of looks like a picture frame. But yeah. Then we've got a phone. 70:6, that's pretty easy. A roulette table, which is 70:7. That's just in case you want to use it. If you, for example, got a really small casino and you can't do the bigger stuff. I've seen some really cool designs for the bigger ones, but I've also got the wheel there. That's actually a roulette where you put the chips on when you decide on those. I think this is like a poker or blackjack, I can't remember. That's 70:9. Also a keyboard, which is 70:10. Now, obviously, this one is directional, so you are a little bit stuck. I still got some editing to do on it to get rid of these lines, and I also want to try and skew it a little bit, but size-wise it's really difficult with these. 70:11, which is knives, that's really useful. We got a control panel, which is 70:12. Some people were asking for a block, and I decided just to go with this instead so that it will fit with pretty much anything. So it's kind of like a little control panel that you can use, probably not with grass actually, don't use grass, but I don't know, if we had like metal or something, yeah, that's going to be horrible, but we'll try it out anyway. If I just get my stick and IPL 70:11, not 11, 12. There we go, and I'm just going to throw these on top of here. It kind of looks like a control panel. Obviously directional again, so you are kind of a little bit stuck, but at least we've got something now. Now with these, it is kind of good to notice as well that if you do step on them, they'll change back to the default. Now, the way you can stop this is by using the invisible glass blocks. So if you put blocks directly on top of them, like this, and if you do REPL 20:6, which is glass, and it's just a glass variation, which is invisible, then what that actually does is I can't actually jump on these now. So it's also good for just blocking things in general. But you do have that in the pack to stop them, kind of people from jumping on things, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool anyway. And the next one we've got is 70:3, which is just a normal handgun. Pretty simple. 70:14 is an Uzi. We've got some grenades as well. These are all for things like crates and whatnot. So if you do have a crate, actually this time I can now just punch this, then you can have stuff on this. And I'm planning on doing like a crate which looks like there's stuff inside. So then it looks like these are just kind of laying on top. That's for those kind of things that you've got a couple of variations. Now we go on to the next little bits. And these are actually flower pots. Oh yes. So I've done that. We basically got a couple of variations. We've got 4 of them. We have got 140:12, which is this grey one, a silvery one, a metallic one, or also a lamp that's turned off. We've also got 13, which is yellow, 14, which is red, and also 15, which is blue. Now you could use these on police cars, for example, as the lights. That's why I've got those 2 there. They're pretty good for that. Or also you can use them for the lamps, and I think that looks really cool. It's a nice little design. So I've actually got a lever texture now, or lever, or however you want to pronounce it. So then you can use World Edit to actually stick these on here. So if I just grab this, if you put down your lever like that, if you then get a block, and if we, for example, do 13, if we do REPL 140, 140, not, there we go, column 13, put that on there, you'll probably notice that the flower, kind of actual plant appears. It'll disappear. I have no idea why it appears, but it does. Sometimes if you do that, it disappears. It's really weird. I don't know. But they will disappear if you have them normally. Obviously, if you now update the block above it, it disappears. So it's kind of, you know, you have to do it with a World Edit trick to get it to kind of look like a lamp. But you got 4 of those now. They're pretty cool. And, you know, I've covered up the texture so that instead of having a hole where you can see the dirt, it's just got a kind of solid texture as well. I think those look like kind of work pretty well. Nice little cube type things. I've switched the cobweb, I just want to make sure I don't stand on those, to a lampshade. I'm trying this out. I did have, in the place of this one, of this metadata, I did have the butterflies, but I wasn't too keen on them. So yeah, 30 column 4, we get a lampshade. This is going to change. Don't use this. It's just there to try it out. Furnace, I've got a proper furnace texture, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. This looks like a proper oven, so I'm really happy with this one. I just like it. Actually, it does look like one, but that's really weird. The actual direction of these didn't. I might have to have a look at this again, but yeah, it seems like the actual dials changed, so I'll just cut those dials off and move it. But I'll do that for the next update for you guys. So yeah, we've got those in there, and of course, if we actually cook something up, let's get some foodstuffs. Let's get some. No, we don't want cooked fish. There you go, raw pork chops. There we go. If we put those in there, you do get the little lights. So I'm going to make that a little bit better. I want to try and animate it, maybe. I'm not really too sure. We'll find out, but I'll have to play around those. Chests, I was planning on doing. The textures are really weird for them, so I've got to spend a lot of time. You can see here, like when you open it, there's the big grey, or the brown bit. We do have a hopper as well, and I'll probably play around with the actual colour of this one. But at least we've got an actual texture in there. It's better than the default one, I think. So I'm either going to go for like a darkish grey, almost black colour, or something a bit more white. But what I'm trying to use it for is Zarias, which is one of my subscribers, is using these quite a lot for car exhausts, which is why I've shown it this way. So I do want to kind of have it metallic, I think. I'm still messing around with it, but it does have a sink plug, which kind of looks a bit random. But that's because I took a picture of my own sink plug and then shoved it onto it. Yeah, so I'm trying it out anyway. If we keep on flying down, as you can see, there is tons added. Invisible glowstone. This is just mega important. And you'll see in my kind of upcoming episode of Dakar City that I use this one quite a bit. And it's really good for atmospheric lighting. So if you do 89:2, you will get an invisible glowstone block. Now, obviously, with the invisible blocks, same as the jungle wood, if you do it this way, you'll see through the world. Same if you do it like here. You know, you can see through stuff. So make sure that you have it kind of floating. But that is super, just really useful. The next one I've got is a redstone lamp. I'm still messing around with this, and I'm probably going to edit it. But my idea is that the floodlights that you have, for example, in stadiums, you also have on the big Jeeps and things, those really big lights. That's what I'm planning on going for, you know, when you have them going across like this way or whatever. So I'm going to keep on messing around with that. That's my kind of work in progress texture that I've been using. It's actually kitchen tiles, which have been edited. Yep, so I'm working on that. Dispenser, I've started on this. And this one is really weird as a texture. It takes the top of the furnace and shoves it on the top. Yeah, it's just odd. Especially when the plan that I had for it just didn't work quite right. But what I think I'm going to do with the dispenser is, instead of having the chest of drawers that you got in the front, my plan was to have it as a washing machine. And you can see that I spent lots of time trying to get the right washing machine thing, but it only appears on the side, and then you get this weird furnace thing. I don't know. I'm going to mess around with it, but that one will be a washing machine or it'll be drawers. Not too sure yet. I'm going to mess around. Now, I went back with the iron as well, and I've got a couple extra iron ones. So before we had, you know, like the copper colour, we had some weird bluish one. You know, we had a load of these really strange iron, and I think I just went a little bit nuts. I've gone back, I've wiped those off the face of the earth, and I've gone with some actual metal. So we've got this kind of scratched metal here, and if I just build a little platform so I can actually show you guys. There we go, like that, and if I grab my stick again, so 42:3, that is this scratched up metal, and this looks pretty cool. It's kind of a nice little different floor, I guess, nice little different floor texture that you can use in warehouses or something like that. It'll work quite nicely, or if you just wanted scratched walls, for example. And I've also got 42:4, which is this, I can't remember what you call that. I did know the name of it, but you know, that common floor that you've got, and it's got a couple of variations as well. It's got about 16 variations, or is it less? It's got some variations in it, and the same with this one here. We've got another slightly different one here. So you get those kind of different floor type metal ones. And I'll keep on adding metal to the 42s as we kind of go on and kind of need them. So, what have we got next? We have got the stained clays, and this is where I actually need you guys to give me input in what I should do. So, a while back I actually took out all of the stained clay that I had before. I just wasn't that keen on it. I didn't really know what I was doing with it. I still don't, to be honest, but I'm not planning on using them as colours. I'm going to just use the wool for those colours. Instead, I'm just going to use them for different things. So you've got the white stained clay, which is stayed, which is just a nice little floor pattern. I'm planning on adding variations. Currently, it's just one block. There's only one texture for it. So I'll add a couple of variations. But I don't know, that one I'm quite happy with. That one's quite nice. Orange, magenta, and light blue. There isn't any there. What I do now have is some camouflage. So I've got yellow, I've got grey, I've got blue, which will change a bit. It's a little bit too vibrant at the minute, and I've also got the green one. And yeah, then we've got this kitchen tile, which is the black stained clay. So, you know, black stain, pretty obvious. It's kitchen tiles. Zarius actually was very clever with this and used it as a start flag, but actually on a race course, this works really well as those lines. So double use, I didn't even realise. So thanks for Zarius for kind of checking that out. But you can also, yeah, you know, make a flag, for example. If I can actually remember how to make a flag. There we go. You know, you could do something like that. Have a nice little flag waving if you've got like a race course or anything like that. And then if we go on to the yellow stained clay, we've got this nice camo texture. Like that. We've also got grey, which I think works really nicely as well. I'm really happy with that one. Blue will change a little bit, but it will be camo. And we've also got the green. So, you know, now you can build your little kind of tents and things, and that would be pretty awesome. Let's just build a little example here so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, we got that now. I think that just is cool. It is just cool. So yeah, obviously it's messed up in this, but those just look really nice, I think. They work really nice, and they're all the same actual pattern. So you can see here, this like blob here is there. They're just like different colour variations of them. So that works in really nicely as well. So if I now get rid of all this mess that I've created, we've got the camo. So you've got those kind of like militaristic ones. Pretty ace. Pretty happy with those. I think it turned out pretty nicely. I just need to tweak them a little bit. But if you guys have any idea for all of the little missing ones that I've got, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 textures to put in there. So yeah, I got a couple of those. The cyan stained clay is going to stay as the garage kind of shutter door. That's what I've decided to use it as, and it works really nicely, as you'll see in Dakar City, for those kind of things. But we still got 9. So that could be just misc blocks, I guess. Just anything, really. Just anything. And now, finally, we're onto the wool texture. So I finally got around to extending all of these wool textures. So now if you have Optifine, you'll get all these extra ones. I need to tweak stuff like the yellow. I'm not that keen on it. But like the dark grey and normal grey, blues and everything, all of these kind of worked. So they're all really nice now. I did change, I think, the green. I made it a little bit brighter. Maybe I'll make it darker again, I'm not too sure. Brown, I definitely made lighter. So you can see the one in my hand is pretty dark, pretty grim. But I've got to change those. And I've also got it so that it works with the carpet. That was a really easy change. I am planning on doing slabs and stairs of wool. It's going to be a little bit more complicated than you might think. It's not going to be as easy of just finding an empty block. But what I do have, if I don't throw the stick down, is there is a block in here which, if I just do REPL 44:2, if you guys know about it, it's basically this extra wooden slab, and there is a couple of stairs which aren't used. I'm going to do biome specific. So for example, to get the yellow wool slabs and stairs, you'll have to be in a desert biome, and you know, maybe jungle will be green or something like that. I'm going to have to figure out a really good way of ordering these so they're kind of logical, but I want to get as many of those in as possible, especially the major colours, things like, well, you know, yellow and blue and green and red. Those are my main ones, so I'm going to get those ones in first, but hopefully I'll have all of those variations in there. So again, guys, thanks for watching this video. Give me any ideas that you've got, because that's pretty much a load of ideas that you've got, you guys have given me. So we've still got loads to do with the pack. I've still got the UI, for example. That's ongoing. It's going to be a while. But have a look. Have a look at what you want me to change. I do still need to actually change the brick texture. I'm still not happy with it. I'm going to mess around with that. And actually, one other thing I've been working on, which is kind of quick, is if we go for this, and we just do REPL 112:1, I think it is. Yeah. So I've started to get out some brick textures in the nether brick. So we've got like this brick in here. I think it's pretty cool. But what I might do instead, and I think you guys might agree that this might be a little bit better, on the stone brick, I might start messing around with these ones so that I can get this a little bit nicer. At the minute you can tell when it repeats, so I might kind of play around with that, but then use the metadatas that I've got extra ones, not just the mossy and cracked stone bricks and the chiseled, but do like dark variations and do light variations, so they all work together and all wrap around together. But yeah, you've got a load of different types of brick, things like dark and red and all those kind of stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. Give me any kind of suggestions. I always look at the suggestions of the latest vid and then go through and see what I can add and see what most people want. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.